Waterworks by Misha. Water is extremely precious. Without water, plants would not be able to grow, animals would die of thirst, and the human race would become extinct. 70% of the earth is covered by water. Most of it is though salty, undrinkable seawater. So how does it change into clean, drinkable water? Well, the sun heats up the water and turns it into vapor. We call this change evaporation. The water vapor rises into the atmosphere and it eventually condenses and creates a cloud. The clouds are transported by the wind to other places which have different climates. In time, the cloud becomes heavier and gradually sinks down. This can happen all over the world, even at sea and in deserts. It can fall as rain, snow, ice, and hail. This precipitation isn't salty because the salt stays in the ocean. It does not evaporate. Most of us can turn on a tap in our houses and the water comes out. We do not have to collect our water from the rivers. The water has been sent to our home through pipes. When water arrives in our homes, it is used in many different ways for many different reasons. The most vital use of water is for drinking. Our bodies are made of mostly water and a balance must be maintained. The same is true for animals and plants. Water is also used to keep our bodies, houses, clothes, and dishes clean. This is important because bacteria and germs could grow and make us unwell. The majority of food we eat is made by using water, either in its production or when it's being cooked. When we cook with water, for example cooking rice and pasta, we use water not only to make them warm but also to rehydrate them. Finally, water is used to flush the toilet. It is an effective way of removing human waste whilst reusing the water. Industry needs and uses a colossal amount of water each day in order to make products for us. Water is consumed in vast amounts when making such common everyday items such as production of clothes, paper, paints, pottery, plastics, and glass. However, water can also be used to generate electricity by damming up a water supply and forcing it through a turbine. This is a cheap and less polluting way of making energy. Unfortunately, by trapping the water, some people and many habitats are affected above and below the dam. Water is polluted when people litter into the water. When we wash something, all bacteria goes to seas and rivers, where some people drink the water and get really sick. This dirty water is created by pesticides, fertilizers, chemicals, and oils that die into it. Factories pollute water when the factory's waste goes to the sea. Companies and factories pollute the water extremely badly. When people litter into the water, water gets badly polluted. Although others try to reduce polluting it, they still litter. Instead of dumping garbage into the water, go and put it into a nearby garbage can. Water is special to all, so we can't waste it anywhere. Sometimes industries pollute so much water as they need, but there are factories that buy cleaning stations so the water wouldn't be polluted. If every factory could have one of the cleaners, less water would be polluted, and lakes, rivers, and oceans would be totally clean. At this moment, water is getting polluted, so let's stop polluting it. When you are home, you also use water, an amazing amount of it. But sometimes we forget that our water is an extremely significant resource. We're reminding each other about the water cycle. Water gets evaporated, but dirt doesn't, so let's not make it dirty. We can help in tiny ways like turning off the tap or plugging the plug when you're cleaning dishes, so water out of the taps won't be wasted. Even doing these simple things can save gallons and gallons of water. When you need a bath, just shower yourself. It uses much less water. People can protect water by showering instead of taking baths, plugging the plug when you're cleaning dishes, not throwing trash in the water, making a pit so the water would stay in them and not flood the whole garden, and putting the brick into the toilet. Industries can preserve water by cleaning the water before it's flowing into the ocean, and also just taking so much water as the factories need.